for us to get there, it requires a whole lot of people, not only believing in the message that I have, but believing that we can get there. And what I want to do today, just very briefly, is to say to you that when there are those who say, Huckabee's a nice guy, like his message, but he can't win. Let me just tell you that's not true, and here's why. We weren't able to win what people thought was an impossible scenario in Iowa in the straw poll in August. And we stunned everybody with our finish there. Stunned everybody. And the reason we did is because there were people in that state that came to Ames, Iowa, and drove 3 and 4 hours each way to get there and stood outside in a 105-degree day to vote for me. The first time anybody can remember that more people voted for me than actually had tickets that we had purchased for them. That just doesn't happen. And these were people who were so committed that we had 2 different instances of people who got to Ames, remembered they had forgotten their driver's license, drove back to Des Moines to get a driver's license, back to Ames just to cast a vote in a straw poll. Look, I'm very committed to this. I would not have driven back. I couldn't believe it. We had 2 guys who got in a private plane and flew from Iowa City to Ames, got out of their plane, called us and said, can you send somebody to the airport and pick us up? Someone went over, picked them up. They went over to the straw poll, they cast their votes, they were taken immediately back to the airport, and they flew back to Iowa City, all just to vote. Iowa caucuses will be a universe of about 80,000 people that will be actually voting in January. We have a real chance of winning the Iowa caucuses because it's tailor-made for a grassroots, on-the-ground campaign where people have to really be committed to a candidate, where people are willing to go out on a very cold January night and spend not 3 minutes, but maybe 3 hours in caucusing to nominate somebody. That's the kind of supporters we've got there. And then in New Hampshire, where I'll be heading this afternoon and there this weekend, significant support that frankly surprises me because I never was really sure how would a Southern boy play up there in New England. Turns out quite well. And what we're going to do is surprise people in New Hampshire and then win South Carolina. And South Carolina, we now have Governor David Beasley, who's one of our key supporters and leading our campaign. Mike Campbell and the Campbell family, as you know, I don't have to tell you, the Campbell family is the gold standard of political influence in South Carolina. Mike's our statewide chairman there. We've got a growing number of people working with us in all of the counties. If we take the positions in those 3 states with a growing momentum that we already have where we are across the country, then we're in the game for the long haul. Just remind you that several months ago, nobody thought we'd make it to the summer. And during the summer, nobody thought we'd make it past the straw poll. And, you know, there's always this process of politics. First they ignore you, then they laugh at you, then they attack you, and then they come to your swearing in. So we're at 3 out of 4 at this point. And so now we're just ready for the swearing in, but there's a lot of hard work between the attacks and the swearing in. And everything that you do for us helps us get a little closer to being there.